So we are taking a little day trip here from Koblenz to supposedly one of the most beautiful castles in all of Europe. So follow us along and let's go. So we have to catch the Regional 81 train to Moselkern, and it takes about 32 minutes to get there. However, we're running a bit late, so we're hustling our way to the Hauptbahnhof to try to make it in time. So we just made the train with about 20 seconds to spare. We kind of sprinted in, and now we're sitting here. We got 32 minutes to relax, catch our breath, and get to Moselkern, where we're gonna have a hike. And it's our first hike with a baby, so we'll see how that goes.
So we left the train station and we are starting our walk to Burg Eltz. The signage off the train station was pretty clear. You just, follow the signs, and it looked like it's gonna be about a 5-kilometer walk. And I will say this town so far is really beautiful. It's small and quiet, but we don't really come through towns like this often, and it is just really cute. And I'm excited to maybe stop somewhere when we're done to have a glass of wine or eat some food. Once you get through Moselkern, you're going to keep walking through the neighborhood. You're going to see some gorgeous houses and walk along the river. The path is totally paved, and it's just a little increase in elevation. It seems like you're walking a little bit uphill. You're going to reach a point where you can then continue on the road or go on the footpath. We chose to go on the footpath trail because it seemed a bit more scenic. A slug, Nico! Oh my gosh. Wait. It is so big. What?
So we're about halfway there. We just crossed the river back onto the paved side where the road was. And I'd say it's definitely worth walking along that side of the river. The trail is kind of narrow sometimes and definitely not as used as before, but now that we're gonna get to the forested section, I'm really curious how this is gonna go with Nico because again, this is our first time hiking with him. So I hope it goes well. So we actually found out about this hike from our friends Ben and Camille at Near From Home, and they were supposed to be on this hike with us, but unfortunately they couldn't make it. So we wanted to give them a shout out because we really wish they were here, and make sure to check out their channel and subscribe to it so you can see a bunch of awesome videos of traveling in Germany as well as a bunch of other places in the world. We highly recommend their channel, and it's one we absolutely love to watch.
All right, last 2 kilometers, here we go. There was a few steps getting up to this path, but now it doesn't seem so bad.
So now you're probably wondering why we called this the most beautiful castle in Europe. And that's because famous travel writer Rick Steves, who's been all over the globe and written travel guides about countless countries, actually referred to Burg Eltz, or the Eltz Castle here in Germany, as the most beautiful castle in Europe. But this hike alone is definitely worth it if you like hiking.
So we took the 9:25 train to get kind of a head start, and I think it was a good choice because there haven't been that many people on this trail. It's been pretty empty. We've passed a few people, but otherwise we've kind of had it to ourselves, which has been really nice. We tried to look up how accessible this trail was going to be for hiking with a stroller or hiking with babies or children, and we didn't find too much about it. We did just pass a family that does have a stroller, and I'm going to say it looked like a little bit of a struggle, so I'm glad we opted for the carrier, and we recommend that if you're hiking with a baby. Oh my gosh. Wow, this is beautiful. Oh my gosh. I'm excited. I'm excited to get a closer view of it.
Wow, this is pretty cool. I'm not sure if you can see behind me here right there, but just looking up at this castle, I can already tell it's going to be incredible. And I don't know, I just love the look of it. So we made it down by the river, and then the last part up here, I can see a bunch of people going up. It's a ton of steps up to the top, and this is something we read. And again, this is where I think the stroller would be very difficult. But let's hike up these steps and see. The Burg Eltz castle is just perfectly nestled in the lush forest and is truly a fairy tale brought to life. It was built in the 12th century and has stood the test of time, remaining untouched from wars and destruction. Its breathtaking beauty alone makes it a must-visit destination here in Germany.
All right, we just got done in the castle and it was 14 euros to go inside. Now the only way to get inside and to see all the rooms is to pay the 14 euros. But if you don't really care about maybe the family history or seeing all the ins and outs, then I would say the hike and just the castle from the outside is beautiful in itself, and you don't necessarily have to pay to go in. That said, the tour was great and it was beautiful inside. You can't take any videos or pictures from inside of the actual castle, so if you really, really want to go, you'll have to see it for yourself.
Now, if you're not too tired and have a little bit of time, we highly recommend walking up the steep road because you get a spectacular view of the Burg Eltz castle here, where it just sticks out on top of that hill and really is highlighted by the thick green forest around it. The architecture and the style of this medieval castle is just amazing. We absolutely love it, and I totally see why it's labeled as one of the best and most beautiful castles in Europe, and I would probably argue perhaps the world. So hiking back down from the castle was pretty good, and we actually got back down to Moselkern just a little bit early, so we had some time before we were able to catch our train, which meant we stopped at Weingut Becca and decided to get some wine here from the Mosel Valley. This dry Riesling is really good. And again, if you checked out our Koblenz video, we tried some there, and I'm not a huge wine connoisseur, but this is absolutely delicious, and a nice pit stop here out with a beautiful landscape, as well as sitting in the sun and having some nice local wine is something you gotta do, and it's a perfect way to end your day here at the Burg Eltz Castle in Germany. So now it's time to catch the train back to Koblenz, and make sure to check out a couple other videos here while we finish this wine. Bye.